As you know, solution engineers at Delegate complete their work in weekly sprints. This means that every week, you and your solution engineer will discuss and agree upon what tasks will be executed in that week's sprint. Kind of like a mini week-long contract. If the sprint has too much or too little work in it, your solution engineer will tell you. This agile process emphasizes transparency and alignment, which is how we at Delegate are able to deliver value to our clients without the burden of tracking hours or the hassle of writing SOWs. So where do these tasks come from? Those of you savvy clients know from the last video that tasks generally come from the backlog, where we have a workflow designed to prepare tasks for inclusion in a sprint by making sure that a sufficient level of detail and requirements are gathered. In this video, I will be showing you the sprint planning process from the perspective of the solution engineer, since they are the ones with the required permissions in Workbench to perform these actions. However, it is vital for you to understand your role in the sprint process. After all, you're a team, and you share the same goal of successfully completing the sprint. Every task in a sprint is important, but some are more important than others. That is why we have this criticality field. During the sprint planning process, your solution engineer will ask you about the criticality of each task in the sprint. This is your opportunity to communicate the relative importance of completing one task over another. The key word here is relative. Setting most or all of the tasks to the same criticality very much defeats the purpose. There are 3 different options for criticality: escalated, normal, and best effort. Escalated means that this is the most important task in the sprint because its successful execution will have an immediate and profound impact on the business. It's another way of saying, no matter what else happens, this needs to get done. Normal means that this task can be executed as part of the normal sprint operation. It's obviously important to get done, but its impact is not as immediate. For example, a task is likely normal if it isn't time-sensitive or a dependency for another task. Best effort means that this task is a stretch goal. Your solution engineer will do their best to get this task done because it's part of the sprint. But it may not be completed if something came up during the sprint or some other task took longer than expected to execute. It's important to remember that criticality is not the same as priority. Solution engineers will complete tasks in the order that makes sense for them as the technical experts. But you can help inform their planning by letting them know what is most important to you. Just because they don't complete it first doesn't mean it won't be completed by the end of the sprint. At times, you may have a new request for your solution engineer in the middle of a sprint. If this request can wait until the next sprint, you should put it in the backlog. However, sometimes things can't wait until the next sprint, and the request requires immediate attention. This situation is what we call unplanned work. After notifying your solution engineer and sharing as many details as possible, they will create a new task in the current sprint and automatically set the criticality to escalated. You may then need to work with your solution engineer to downgrade the criticality of other tasks in the sprint to make room for this unplanned work, since it was not part of the original sprint. The last thing you should know about is when a task is in blocked status. This means that your solution engineer cannot move forward with the completion of a task because they need something from you in order to continue. This could be anything. Maybe they have a question and need clarification from you, or maybe they need you to review and approve something. Sometimes they need access to a system or a key input that they're missing. Whatever it is, they will notify you by leaving a comment on the task. The faster you can help resolve the issue, the more likely they will be able to complete the task within the sprint. That's it! You have now mastered all the basics of Workbench and have everything you need to successfully engage with your solutions engineer. Using Workbench as the primary method of communicating questions and updates helps keep everyone on the same page, which means that your solution engineer can spend less time wading through Slack and emails and more time executing. We will be continuing to add more useful features to Workbench to help you and your solution engineer get more done together. So get excited, we're just getting started.